Welcome to the Coastal Kitchen. Hi, I'm Karen Mashers, and today I'm going to do a great brunch. Easter's on its way, so I figured before church you can have it as a breakfast. After church you can have it as a lunch. Before that Easter egg hunt, you can just all get together and sit around that table and have a great time. We're going to have Supreme Strata. It's an egg casserole that you can actually make the night before. We're going to have Apricot sticky biscuits. They are wonderful. We're going to have some fried one-side tomatoes and a fruit salad. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do for our strata is put a little bit of vegetable oil in the pan. I usually put about 2 tablespoons, but I also like to cut that back and put just a little bit of butter because I think butter actually makes the flavor of the mushrooms just a little bit nicer, a little richer flavor. Okay, we're going to let this get around the pan and start to heat up. Okay, things are starting to bubble. Let's take a pound of mushrooms, and I have sliced them, and we're just going to put those in, let them cook. Want them nice and tender. That's going to take about 5 minutes. While that's going, I'm going to come back over here and get my eggs. I've got 12 eggs, and I'm just going to let them go down into my big bowl. And I'm going to give them a little whisk. Just break them all up. I'm going to pour in a quart of half and half. This turns into a beautiful light yellow egg mixture. Okay, got that in. I'm going to let that set for just a moment. Look at these mushrooms. I'm going to turn them down to medium now. Mushrooms produce a lot of flavor, and they have a wonderful texture in this egg dish. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of salt to this mix. And a little bit of fresh ground pepper. Give it another little whisk. And some dry mustard, about a teaspoon. Okay, that looks great. Let's just set this aside for right now and check on my mushrooms. Just about done. Okay, I'm going to just take these and put them on this side. Little bit of salt. Let's give that a little stir, and we're going to let them cool off for just a minute while we get the rest of our egg strata going. I've got a 9 by 13 glass dish, and you can use a ceramic dish if you'd like. I've got to take 6 slices of bread, and you want nice white fluffy bread, just good old sandwich bread. You don't have to do anything special. And we're going to take the crusts off. So I'm just going to gently go down the sides. Okay, got that together. Now, I'm going to take some spray, just good old Pam, and I'm going to spray my glass dish. Then I'm going to place 6 slices of bread side by side. Okay, that's got that. I'm going to move this back because I've got to grab my bacon. And I have pre-cooked some bacon, about 12 slices. And I'm just going to put that all on my cutting board. You can crumble it up if you like. I'm just going to give it a rough chop. Now I like chunky bits in my strata, so we're going to take this and just spread it over the top. Just pull it apart if we need to, all over the bread. About half of it. Just make sure you get it all over each piece. Okay, now it's time for some scallions. And some of our mushrooms. Let's flip that off. And I'm going to take about half the mushroom mixture and just sprinkle it over the top. And you might have to just do a little organizing here. Because you want little bits in all the pieces. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of orange pepper. And I'd like to use the orange because it offsets the bacon and the scallions. So we're going to put a little bit of pepper, sprinkle it all over the top. Now I'm going to take half of my cheese, and I have grated my Swiss cheese, and I am just going to put a good sprinkling all across the top of this bread, all these wonderful vegetables, and just a little bit more here. Now we put in our egg mixture, and I'm going to put in about a cup and a half. Just want to start that bread soaking. Now it's time to do it all again. So let's start with our bread. Get this last little sprinkling of cheese on here, and now it's time for our egg mixture. And this is where the rest of it goes in. Okay, now we can either put this into the refrigerator covered and let it set overnight and be ready for you to bake in the morning, or if we want, which is what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a piece of saran, and I want it to be a little loose here, and I'm going to take another identical dish, and I'm going to set this right on the top because I want to press it down just a little bit. I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. I could put it in the fridge, but I'm just going to let it sit right here. Then it's going to go into a 325 oven for about 50 minutes. So let's take a quick break, have a word from our sponsor, and I'll be right back.
Most people couldn't fit 200 local farms on their table. Well, that's where we come in. For the very best of everything local, Lowe's Foods.
Welcome back. I'm grating some extra Swiss cheese to put on the top. We've got this ready, just about to go in the oven. Let's give this a nice topping of cheese. And just put as much as you'd like. All right, into the oven, 325 for about 50 minutes. Let's start on our apricot sticky biscuits. Now, this is a wonderfully easy recipe. It is so much fun to make. Kids can make it, and it only takes about 45 minutes to finish the whole project. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is put in a cup of chopped pecans, a half a cup of old-fashioned oats, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a cup of brown sugar. And we got to crumble this up. This is one of those things that you can actually mix with your fingers. Just get it all crumbled up together. All right, it's good and mixed, and I've got about 6 tablespoons of butter in this container, and I'm going to put about 3 of them in my mixture and just give it another good mixing. Just want it a little bit wet. Okay, let's rinse off these hands real fast. I've got a 10-inch cake plate, and what I'm going to do is take the other 3 tablespoons of butter and pour right into the cake plate. Make sure it gets all around the edges and is well covered, okay? And we're going to take this mixture and just place it on the bottom. Once it gets all in, just spread it out to the edges and make sure it's about uniform in size. Let's rinse these off again. And get our apricot or apricot jam. And this is mostly fruit, and we're going to use a 10-ounce jar, and I just want you to take it out in teaspoons, generous ones, and put it around the perimeter of your pan. A little bit more here. And now I'm going to take just an offset spatula and spread it out. We're going to go to the edges. All spread out. It's looking good. You can see it just looks like a glazed topping. Now, everybody loves salted caramel, and so do I. So I have got some salted caramel in my little container here, and I am just going to drizzle it all over the top. About 3 tablespoons. All right, that's about 3 good tablespoons. If you want a little bit more, you can put a little bit more on there. Now I'm just going to set this over here for a minute. I'm going to melt another stick of butter real fast in my microwave. Okay, all done. And I'm just going to set this right here. And I have biscuits. Get a big can at your grocery store. 8 of the large flaky buttermilks. Okay, now I've got to get a little bit organized here. Okay, 3-line assembly. Take one of the biscuits, put it in your butter, turn it over, then drop it down in your sugar. Crumble some sugar over it. And what I want you to do is just pat the brown sugar in. And all on the sides. And this is going to go straight in the middle. And we're going to start with the second one. Alright, in and sugar. And we're going to repeat this process with all of our biscuits. Alright, and we're going to squeeze the last one in and then give them a nice little press down. And I'm going to take the rest of this sugar and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the back side of our dish, because these are going to be real sticky. And I'm going to take my leftover butter that I didn't use, and I'm just going to drizzle a little all around the edges. And this is now ready to go in. This is ready to go into the oven. I've got to quick wash my hands and let's get this in. Okay. This is going into a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. Now, if your oven runs hot, make sure you watch it. But you want the biscuits to get all the way done. So about 45 minutes. We're going to wait on these, have a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back to do our special tomatoes and fruit.
ATMC TV and the Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Charlotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. For over 25 years, the Holden Brothers Farm Market has specialized in the freshest locally grown produce on their 250 acres in Charlotte. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17 or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
Welcome back. I have already made my whipping cream. I just used a pint of whipping cream and a couple of tablespoons of confectionery sugar. You can find that recipe online. You can go to Facebook and look for the Coastal Kitchen. Now, I think my egg strata is almost ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on broil for just about 4 minutes so I can brown the top off a little bit. We are ready to do our fruit salad, and this is a yogurt and whipped cream fruit salad, and I like things a little bit chunky, so I have made whipped cream. I've got vanilla yogurt, Greek yogurt, and I am going to take a kiwi, and we're going to peel this kiwi real fast. Kiwis sometimes have a little bit of a tough skin, but it's not too bad, so just take your peeler, beautiful spring green color here, and I've got 2 of them. One of them I'm going to reserve to garnish with. You could reserve a strawberry if you'd like, because today in this fruit salad I am using kiwi, strawberry, and cantaloupe. Alright, got my kiwi ready. Let's give it a nice chop. All I'm going to do is cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut it in about 4 pieces each side. Little wedges. And then I'm going to chunk it. And I like big chunks. So in this fruit salad, we're going to have some big chunks. And I'm going to get my second kiwi, and I'm going to keep half of it. That's going to go right in the bowl. I've got some lovely strawberries. Just wash them, cut the tops off, and I'm going to quarter these so we have a nice chunky salad. Alright, let's get my cantaloupe and the rest of my strawberries in my salad. I'm going to have about 2 cups, maybe a little bit more. Really, how many people you decide to have. This will do about 6, and I'm going to throw a little bit more in. Okay, now I've got my whipping cream, and I am going to fold in my Greek yogurt. This is a good cup. Now, I want about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So what I'm going to do is squeeze 1 lemon, and that will be about 2 tablespoons. Gives it that lovely brightness. Okay, and we're going to keep folding. Alright, this looks just about right, but I've got to check my Strata. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. Let me grab my pads here. This should be ready. Ooh, beautiful and puffy. Let's just turn that for a second. Let the other side get just as brown. Okay, we're going to mix our fruit in. Just coat it generously. And I think I've got plenty enough to add the rest of this cantaloupe. All right, now all mixed and ready to go. What I like to do is I like to take individual bowls and a nice helping. Then I put it into the fridge and let it chill just a little bit longer. Let's take a little slice of kiwi. And I'm going to put that right on the top. And this is going to go in the fridge. Wash my hands and check my Strata one more time. And this is beautiful. You can see how puffy it has become. It's just perfect. It needs to set for about 8 minutes before we get ready to serve it. So let's turn that off, and we're going to start with our tomatoes. Now this is a special dish for me. So simple and so easy. Just cut the top off of my tomato, give it a slice halfway down, and I'm going to do this with each one. This brings back really fond memories of my grandmother. She was born in 1886. It makes me old, by the way. And we had so much fun at her house. When she'd make us breakfast, she'd always do these tomatoes. And memories are what food is about, too. Alright, last one. We're just going to take these I'm going to put them back on my plate, face side up, and I'm going to give them a good turn of salt and pepper. Okay, the tomatoes are going to go right in a frying pan. I've got it on medium high. I've got a little bit of bacon grease in. I'm going to put a little bit more in. And these are just going to go face down. We're going to cook them for about 4 minutes. They're going to become nice and tender and warm. And they'll go with our egg strata. Okay, we're going to take our apricot sticky biscuits out in about 10 minutes. They're going to sit. We've got our strata ready to go. Our tomatoes are starting to sizzle, and as soon as they turn a little bit brown around the edges, I'll take them off. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be back to show you how everything's turned out.
Most people couldn't fit 200 local farms on their table. Well, that's where we come in. For the very best of everything local, Lowe's Foods.
Welcome back. I am so pleased with everything today. It has turned out beautifully. The smells are wonderful. And the best part about it is, it's a meal that you can do hundreds of variations. You can do it the way that you like it. Our strata, you can make it vegetarian. You can add salsa on the top. You can make ham, sausage, any type of meat that you would like to add to what we've just done, and of course any kind of vegetable. The fruit, it's got to be the way you like it. I happen to love strawberries and cantaloupe, so this one's for me. Let me show you our sticky biscuits. What I did was waited till they cool, about 10 minutes, and then I inverted this cake plate on the top of the pan and flipped it over. Be real careful, and you need something that has a little lip on it because it does have some juicy bits that come out. So let's just grab one of these and let me show you how it does. I just threw a couple little pink things on the top for a little bit of a decoration. Let's get us one. And you can tell it's 8 servings if you have hungry people in the family. I'm going to get a little bite real quick. The caramel is coming through. The apricot is such a wonderful flavor in this. And you can see it almost looks like a cake, but it doesn't taste like a cake. I've got my tomatoes. Look at this cute little thing that I decided to do. Great for a brunch table, a buffet table, especially where you have kids, because with a couple of foiled covered bunnies, a little bit of spring flowers, some grass, you've got extra dessert and a gift for the kids on the way. So we've got our strata. Again, our tomatoes, they're so soft and ready to eat. And if you don't just want to have orange juice, you can make a mimosa. We have that on our website too. You can find us on Facebook. Search for the Coastal Kitchen. This is absolutely great. I can't wait to eat. So you guys are going to have to excuse me, and we'll see you next time.